Hi everyone and welcome back to the yoga session. So today's session is going to be about connecting to self, and there's going to be a talk that I'm going to be doing about the importance of speaking things out or journaling or getting things transferred from one art form to the other if you're not having someone that you're able to speak through everything that's happening right now. But this session is focusing on how we are right now in this moment, and each moment is going to change completely, but it's finding that connectedness to the body. Sometimes when we don't have the right word or the right way of expressing how we're feeling, or we don't know how we're feeling, that's completely okay and that's normal. And right now we're just going to be connecting back to ourselves, accepting if we don't have a word or an understanding, but just being with ourselves with full love and acceptance and appreciation to know that it's okay, and we'll find the right words one day and the emotion will change before we know it, and we'll be back at something that we understand. So, as always, we're going to be coming to our mat. I'm going to be doing this sideways. We're actually going to start on the floor, toes are curled under, and we just sat upright on our heels, allowing the soles of the feet to open. Now that's going to be quite an intense stretch, so if you need, you can lean forward, putting your weight into your hands. The lower down, the less pressure, the higher up, the more pressure on the feet. But we're just going to stay here for a few breaths, closing our eyes, and just noticing our natural breath as we're opening ourselves up from the bottom, moving up to the top. We're allowing any discomfort to just be breathed through. No, we're not pushing ourselves, making any adjustments as we need. And in our breath, we're not trying to label or identify anything. We're moving away from thought and moving towards just being. Just being however we are right now. Focusing on the breath, grounding yourself to this moment, feeling the sensation of the feet opening. We're going to do 2 more of these nice natural breaths. And on your second exhale, you're going to use your hands to lead you back up, keeping those toes grounded and finding a balance as we straighten up our body, resting our hands on our legs for support. The further that the heels are towards the floor, the easier the balance should be, and the higher that you lift them, we're putting more pressure, we're opening up more of the feet. So just find where's natural for you, allowing yourself to have a wobble, falling over, just holding on to something if you need, having a fixed gaze, and just noticing your breath again. Taking a break whenever you need by just bringing the heels towards the floor and leaning the body forward towards the legs. Being kind to ourselves and mainly feeling the connection of the feet. The openness, but also the connection to the ground. And on your next exhale, you're going to bring those heels all the way down, bring your body forward and your hands as far forward as you can, fingers spread. And we're now starting to feel the connection of the hands and the feet. Noticing your breath as it pushes up against your legs. Stretch now moving from the feet up the Achilles, the length in the back and the neck. Now we're going to come into crow. So to do this, your hands are directly in front of your knees. You're lifting up onto your toes, and you're trying to place your knees in your armpits, knowing it's okay if it comes slightly further down. My toes are engaged, my fingers are spread, and my eyes, my drishti is in between my 2 thumbs. Now you can stay here if you want, or you can lean forward even more, allowing the toes to curl up, feeling the pressure of the hands on the floor. Lifting one leg up, then the other. Feeling both the heel and the fingers of the hand as you find that balance. And with an exhale, you're bringing your feet out at 10 to 2, finding a crouch, as again you lift your toes up, straighten your back, and look towards the right hand side. Feel like a bird of prey crouched up on a rock, or a meerkat looking around its environment. Next exhale, we're looking over to the left-hand side, pulling those shoulders down, feeling long and engaged and strong in the body. And as we bring our focus back in front of us, we're noticing again our natural breath. Noticing if there's any changes from being in this position, this upright position that takes a lot of effort, a lot of muscles are being used. With the next exhale, you're going to allow your feet to come out as wide as you can until you can squat and sit in between. Finding the length in the back, bringing the hands in a prayer position in between the legs. Again, you can come up as high as you need. Feeling the feet, the toes spread on the floor, the hands in contact to each other. The elbows touching the inner of the leg, and the thighs having a connection to the ground, even though it may not be touching it. Starting to add more points. As we exhale, allow our bum to fall to the ground and our legs to move around in front of us. We're coming into a cross-legged position. We're just going to turn so you can see with the heels in line again. We're engaging with our sit bones by rocking side to side gently. Finding our even position between the two. Finding length in the body. And again, you're just noticing your natural breath. With every inhale, the belly expanding. Every exhale, the belly moving towards. Finding this movement within the body naturally. Keeping length in the spine. Relaxing and opening up the hips. And relaxing the feet. Allowing them to roll forward with the aim of getting the full backs of the feet on the mat. We're being open in this position, and we're being open in our mind. Trying to move away from thought, but just being open to whatever is coming to us. So as you're in this position, notice if there's any smells, sounds, sensations, or taste that you're having from the environment. If you don't, that's completely okay. But just notice what you're drawn to. Notice what's in the present right now. As we exhale, we're bringing that right arm up. Our left hand is coming to the floor, bending if we can. And we're reaching all the way over, keeping both the sit bones on the floor. Now from here, we're going to put our weight into our left arm. And we're stretching out our legs, so we're coming into a side plank position. You can keep the right arm above your head, or the right arm above the shoulders. Variation 1 is you have the feet in front of each other. Variation 2, you have one foot on top of the other. Variation 3, that right foot is lifted up. But we're just finding our core centre, noticing our breath. As with an exhale, we're going to fall forward into our full plank. On our elbows, feeling the push and the engaging against the ground. And with the next exhale, we're dropping our knees and coming down into child's pose. Feeling the forehead move towards the earth. And if you need added support, you can place your hand into a fist and rest the forehead on that. Once again, we're noticing our natural breath. As with an in-breath, we're moving our belly towards our legs. With an exhale, it's coming towards our spine and our back. Seeing if we feel that movement within our back and our body. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. With an exhale, coming out. Finding our way back to the seated position, but this time with your other foot in front. Heels nice in line with our midline. Allowing ourselves to rock side to side so we can feel those sit bones. So we find a balance. And again, just notice where we are by noticing the natural breath, the inhale coming out, the exhale coming in. Being open and releasing in our hips and our ankles and our feet, we're allowing them to roll as much as natural. And just again, notice what you're drawn to in the environment, knowing it's okay if it's slightly different. The sounds, the smells, the tastes, the touch. And just ground yourself in where you are right now and be loving and accepting to whatever you're drawn to, if anything. With that next exhale, bring that left arm above our head, our right hand or elbow towards the floor, as we're keeping both our sit bones down, as we're stretching out the side. Now we're going to shift that weight onto the right elbow, straighten our legs out, as we're coming into our side plank. Again, variation 1 is having both feet in front, variation 2 is the feet stacked, and variation 3 is that left leg lifted. Come in wherever's comfortable, again noticing your natural breath, feeling your core. As with an exhale, we're going to fall into our full plank, stomach engaged. My gaze is looking in between my 2 index fingers. And with an exhale, bringing my knees down and coming into child's pose as we wait here for 5 breaths. The inhale, my belly is moving towards my legs. And the exhale towards my spine, feeling that motion in the back. And on your 5th and final exhale, you're going to move forward again into that variation of plank, curling the toes up so you're in a full plank, and exhaling, lifting those hips up towards the sky, heels towards the ground, ears in line with the elbows as we're coming into downward dog. Allowing the back and the spine to open, your legs to open. You're finding strength but flexibility. You're okay just being, balancing between your hands and your feet. With an exhale, you're going to walk those feet forward as far as you can. And then you're going to bend your knees and roll up the spine with the head being last. Just noticing where you are in the room. As we're coming into our mountain pose, my hips are stacked over my ankles, my shoulders on top of my hips. I may need to roll them back slightly. Bending the head from side to side, opening up the neck until I find my center position. And as we're in mountain, you can either turn your palms to face forward, feeling how it activates your inner and your back of your arm. Or you can come into prayer position in front of your heart, feeling the connectedness to your inner mechanism. So whatever you're preferring, whether it's the environment or to yourself, just do what feels natural, try between the two, but trust that you're connecting to the right source. You're just going to stay here for a few breaths, feeling all 4 edges of your feet on the floor, the length in the spine, the stomach still engaging in, with an inhale coming out and an exhale coming towards the spine. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths, just being, just standing, not needing to do anything else, but rooted and grounded in both ourselves and the environment. With an exhale, I'm just going to turn so you can see we're going to shift into tree. So we're going to shift our weight towards that right foot so we can lift that left foot up. And we're going to place the toe just above the ankle of the right foot, allowing the leg to come out naturally, feeling that connectedness of the hips as it's stacked above the ankle, feeling the stretch in the back of the legs, potentially the hips, and either keeping your hands out towards the environment or towards yourself, whatever you are feeling you're needing, without any judgment and allowing yourself to change. To have your balance, you can focus on one solid point, feeling your shoulders moving down, the toes spread, and the head reaching up to the sky. You don't need to do anything right now but be. All you need to do is balance. If you have a wobble, that's completely okay. Find your way back. This practice is all about what's going on internally, connecting to yourself, connecting in a way that does not need words or emotions, and giving yourself the kindness and care that you deserve. As you exhale, you're going to bring that foot back down again, finding the middle between your two legs. As you prepare yourself to shift towards the left, lift up the right, and come into tree again. Knowing there may be variations, you may want to change your posture, that's completely okay. Just doing whatever feels right without needing to understand it. Because everything you're doing is in love and care. Just notice your natural breath. Do one intentional deep breath to ground yourself back to your body and to hear your breath, to hear your voice that is always there within you and is always there working for the best of you. As you exhale and come back to neutral, we're standing in mountain. Allow yourself to close your eyes, place your hands over your heart, place your hands over your throat gently, and place your hands on the top of your head. And you're just going to do these 3 points with your breath. So an inhale across the chest, holding the breath across the throat, exhaling on the head. Doing this in your own time and pace. Feeling the touch and connectedness to your body, the breath and the stages. Knowing that we go 3 stages and that's completely okay because it will always move on to the next one as we move in this constant cycle. You can do 2 more of those in your own time. Allowing the breath to change whenever you need it to, and allowing yourself to rest on whatever point, your chest, your throat, or your head that you feel you need. And as we end the session, place your hand on each 3 and decide where you'd like to end, what feels best for you right now. Allowing yourself to change. Going whatever feels right in sensation, whether it's comforting or discomfort, whether it's whatever you need, whatever you're taking. I'm going to stay with that for 2 more breaths. So we exhale, coming back to prayer position, and then back to the universe with the palms facing forward. Do 1 deliberate deep breath, hearing your voice again as we come towards the end of the session. So I hope that's been helpful and I will see you soon. Thank you.